أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وما أبرئ نفسي إن النفس لأمارة بالسوء إلا ما رحم ربي إن ربي غفور رحيم. وقال الملك ائتوني به أستخلصه لنفسي فلما كلمه قال إنك اليوم لدينا مكين أمين. قال اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض يتبوأ منها حيث يشاء نصيب برحمتنا من نشاء ولا نضيع أجر المحسنين. ولأجر الآخرة خير للذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون. وجاء إخوة يوسف فدخلوا عليه فعرفهم وهم له منكرون. ولما جهزهم بجهازهم قال ائتوني بأخ لكم من أبيكم ألا ترون أني أوفي الكيل وأنا خير المنزلين. فإن لم تأتوني به فلا كيل لكم عندي ولا تقربون. قالوا سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون. وقال لفتيانه اجعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم لعلهم يرجعون. فلما رجعوا إلى أبيهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون. قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين. ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير ذلك كيل يسير. قال لن أرسله معكم حتى تؤتون موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم. فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل. وقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة وما أغني عنكم من الله من شيء إن الحكم إلا لله عليه توكلت وعليه فليتوكل المتوكلون. ولما دخلوا من حيث أمرهم أبوهم ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها وإنه لذو علم لما علمناه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. ولما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أخاه قال إني أنا أخوك فلا تبتئس بما كانوا يعملون. فلما جهزهم بجهازهم جعل جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون قالوا وأقبلوا عليهم ماذا تفقدون قالوا نفقد صواع الملك ولمن جاء به حمل بعير وأنا به زعيم قالوا تالله لقد علمتم ما جئنا لنفسد في الأرض وما كنا سارقين قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه كذلك نجزي الظالمين فبدأ بأوعيتهم قبل وعاء أخيه ثم استخرجها من وعاء أخيه كذلك كدنا ليوسف ما كان ليأخذ أخاه في دين الملك إلا أن يشاء الله نرفع درجات من نشاء وفوق كل ذي علم عليم.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. Here the 13th juz begins in almost in the middle of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. These videos that we're posting are only an encouragement, it's only to kind of get your boost going. We encourage everybody to read the entire juz and in the entire Quran and to read as much as they can and benefit from it. Here the juz begins with the saying of Yusuf alayhi salam, and I free not myself from the blame, regarding what was being blamed. What happened? As you know, the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, he was taken by his brothers and left and then sold into slavery, and he was bought into the house of Al-Aziz, who was a powerful person in Egypt, and then his wife tried to tempt him, and he was somebody who feared Allah, and then he was blamed for what he didn't do, and so on and so on, and then he was freed from prison. So this is the end of the story in that aspect of it, but there is a lot left. So here, after being exonerated, after being told that we know that he was falsely accused and imprisoned and he's out, he says, I free not myself from blame. And I'm not saying that I'm so pious, or I'm like some people when they do something, they say, look at me and the great thing. No. He says, verily the human self is inclined towards evil, except when my Lord bestows his mercy upon whoever he wills. Verily my Lord is oft forgiving and oft merciful. What does that mean? He says, insan has an inclination towards evil, and this is true. Everybody has the nafs, the lower desires, hawa, and so many other things, where if you could get away with it, let's say there's no law, and you could get away with stealing $100 million or zina or things like this, and there is nobody to know and things, a person will be tempted. But that is the pious person who can fight off that temptation. And it can never be done without the will of Allah. So we always ask Allah, oh Allah, protect me from sin, take me away from sin, turn my heart away from sin. You should always be turning to Allah, asking for that protection. And Allah then makes it easy for the one who tries. And the king said, bring him to me that I may attach him to my person. bring him close to me. He's intelligent, he interpreted the dream correctly, he did all this stuff, and he was truthful, and he was falsely accused. So I want to bring him in my inner circle. Then when we spoke to him, he said, verily this day you are with us high in rank and fully trusted. Yusuf ﷺ then said, set me over the storehouses of the land. I will indeed guard them with full knowledge. Meaning, he wanted the post of what we would consider today the Minister of Finance. Yani to be in charge of the reserves and the wealth of the land, which was food. Now, here, Yusuf ﷺ is not doing this because he wants authority. He could have said, make me the king, make me in the place of Al-Aziz, or give me the military, or no. He is doing this from wahi. And that's important to understand, because some people misuse this to say, oh, we should get involved in politics and be Democrats and Republicans and this. First and foremost, from the ulama of tafsir, they said the king eventually became a Muslim himself. So this is not becoming a part of some kafir taghut government. Secondly, Yusuf ﷺ is doing it with wahi. Allah has inspired him to do this. I don't know if any of you got wahi to run for office. Thirdly, he's going to become the Minister of Finance, or be in charge of the finance, to implement the Sharia. To implement how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants him to implement the law regarding what will happen with the famine and so on. So if you're going to run for office to implement the Sharia, that's a different issue. But if you're going to run for office to talk about LGBT rights, then don't misuse the Quran. Thus did we give full authority to Yusuf ﷺ in the land, and take possession therein when or where he likes. The king gave him that authority. We bestow of our mercy on whom we will, and he will make not to be lost the reward of the muhsineen, the people who do good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Yusuf ﷺ. Test of what? Slavery. Test of what? Being taken away from his father, taken away from his family, going through all these hardships, being a servant when he was somebody of great honor, and then being tempted and attacked and put into that trial. And then when he was successful, instead of making it easier, he was in prison and he innocent. All of this, but he was patient. And he was a da'i, he was still calling towards Tawheed. And he was a person who still turned to Allah. So Allah then rewarded him. And that Allah showing that your good deeds will never be lost. What did Allah reward him with? In dunya he became the highest authority of the land. Even though he wasn't the king, but the king gave him full permission. And in akhirah obviously he's successful. And you will see how Allah honors him with uniting him with his father and his brothers as well. And verily the reward of the hereafter is better for those who believe and used to fear Allah and keep their duty to Him. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, look, we gave him this authority, we gave him wealth, we gave him honor, we gave him authority in the land. But the reward of the akhirah that's waiting for him is even better than this. When you are righteous, Allah will bless you in the dunya. But understand that your akhirah will be, this dunya, even with all its blessings, will be like a sijn for you compared to what you have in the akhirah. Yusuf's brethren came and they entered upon him, and he recognized them, but they recognized him not. Now Yusuf's brethren, they're going through a famine. And they come to Egypt, where by the Sharia of Allah, by the orders of Allah, the laws of Allah, the food was kept, and now they're in a good state. Right? So the people of different lands, and the brothers of Yusuf ﷺ and his father, they are in Sham. So they are coming to ask for provisions because there's no food. So because they were older than him, they didn't change much. But because he was very young, he changed. And obviously they didn't think that that brother they threw in the well is now the most powerful man in Egypt. So they didn't recognize him, but he recognized them, obviously. And Yusuf's brethren came, and they entered unto him, and he recognized them, but they recognized him not. And when he had furnished them with their provisions, whatever they needed, he gave them. He said, bring me a brother of yours from your father, Binyamin. Binyamin is the brother of Yusuf alayhi salam to the same mother. So ulama of tafsir said the other brothers had a different mother. They all had the same father. And Binyamin was good towards Yusuf alayhi salam. He was more pious. So he loved his younger brother Binyamin. So see you not that I give full measure and that I may the best of hosts. Yani, bring your other brother, because the provisions were given per person. So that if you bring your other brother, then you'll get more. And then don't you see that I'm giving you a lot? So bring him so I can give you more. But if you bring him not to me, then shall be no measure yani of the corn that was being given out. As we know from the ahadith and the aqwal from tafsir, it was corn. For you with me, nor shall you come near me. Yani if you don't bring him, then I'm not going to give you next year. So he really wants them to bring his brother. He wants to know how is his brother doing. They said, we shall try to get permission for him from his father, and verily we shall do it. And imagine how happy Yusuf alayhi salam must have been knowing his father is alive. And he told his servants to put, Yusuf alayhi salam told his servants to put their money back with them and the corn into their bags, so that they might know that when they go back to their people, in order that they might come again. So they bought the corn, but Yusuf alayhi salam, out of making ikram and making sure that they come back with his brother, he gave the money back to them as well, and didn't even tell them. And he put the money back and he gave them the corn. So when they returned to their father, they said, O father, no more measure of grain shall we get, unless we take our brother. So send our brother with us, and we shall get our measure, and truly we will guard him. Now remember, these are the same brothers that told Yusuf alayhi salam, the father of Yusuf alayhi salam, which is Yaqoob alayhi salam, that send Yusuf with us. And then they said the wolf ate him. But now they're asking to send the other brother, Binyamin. So Yaqoob alayhi salam, he says, can I trust you with him except that I entrusted you with his brother Yusuf before? But Allah is the best guard, and He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. Now Yaqoob alayhi salam lost his favorite, most pious son, but he's still patient. Sabrun jameel, without complaining. He's saying to his sons, how can I trust you again when you did what you did with Yusuf? And when they opened their bags, now they have this conversation already going, but then they open their bags and they find their money returned to them, and they said, oh father, what more can we desire? They consider Yusuf alayhi salam like the king, even though he's not the actual king at this time, but he is powerful. They said, this king, he's so generous. He gave us the food and returned it. What more can we ask for? And we shall so send our brother, so we shall get more food for our family, and we shall guard our brother and add one more measure of camel's load. We'll have one more person, so we'll get one more share. This quantity is easy for Yusuf alayhi salam to give. He, Yaqoob alayhi salam said, I will not send him with you until you swear a solemn oath to me in Allah's name. Unless you swear by Allah that you will bring him back to me, unless you yourselves are surrounded. He's saying, look, you take an oath that you will do your best to bring him back in the name of Allah, then I will trust you. But of course there may be a situation you can't guarantee. Maybe they'll get attacked themselves. And when they swore their solemn oath, he said, Allah is the witness to what we have said. If you swear in the name of Allah, then Allah is a witness to what you're saying. And he said, O my sons, do not enter by one gate, but enter by different gates, and I cannot avail you against Allah at all. Verily the decision rests upon only with Allah. In Him I put my trust, and let all those that trust put their trust in Allah. He gave them a beautiful nasiha. Don't enter through one gate. The ulama of tafsir have given different explanations. One of them, that because there were many, we have 11 young brothers, young men, strong, handsome, pious, that people may give them ayn, the evil eye, by making hasad of them. He said, enter through different gates. Other ulama gave other hikam, other wisdoms as well. Yani not so that an enemy or somebody cannot overtake you all together and you can be dispersed and know what's going on, so on and so on. And when they entered according to their father's advice, they listened to their father, they obeyed their father. It did not avail them in the least against the will of Allah. Why? Like Yaqoob alayhi salam is saying, I can't help you against the will of Allah. A father can only do so much. In the end, everything is in the hands of Allah. It was but a need of Yaqoob's inner self which he discharged it. It was only something that Yaqoob had in himself to give nasiha to his kids, and he gave it, but the qadr cannot be changed by this. And verily, he was endowed with knowledge because he had taught them, and most men know not. Yaqoob alayhi salam was given a great amount of knowledge and he taught his kids well. And when they went in before Yusuf alayhi salam, he took his brother Binyamin to himself and said, verily I am your brother, so grieve not for what they used to do. He disclosed the secret to his brother Binyamin. He told him, I am your brother Yusuf. So don't worry, don't be sad for what happened to me or what they used to do to other brothers. So when he had furnished them forth with their provisions, he gave them back now all the corn and provisions, and put a bowl, and from the bab of tafsir it was a gold bowl, in his brother's bag, in Binyamin's bag. He placed it himself. Then a person who calls out, a crier cried, O you in the caravan, surely you are thieves. They made this, Yusuf alayhi salam made this plan to keep his brother with him, as he had a great love for his brother. And this was the hikmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They, turning towards them, said, what is that you have lost? They said, we have lost a bow, a golden bow of the king, and for him who produces it a camel's load of reward, I will bound by it. If somebody produces it, they will get that much reward. And this was a bow that was used for measuring, as the ulama of tafsir have explained. They said, Wallahi, by Allah, Tallahi. They used the qasam using the ta. Tallahi, indeed you know that we came not to make mischief in the land, and we are no thieves. And they were not. They said, the men that Yusuf alayhi salam had sent, what then shall be the penalty for him of you who proves to be a liar? Now Yusuf alayhi salam is letting them give the punishment, because the punishment in the land of Egypt was different. And this was not something that Yusuf alayhi salam wanted. But the punishment in the land of Sham, if somebody stole at the Sharia of the time, they would be kept as slaves. So he didn't want to put the man to death, which is his brother. They said the penalty should be that he in whose bag is found should be held for punishment for the crime. Thus we punish the zalimun, the wrongdoers. So he began, Yusuf alayhi salam, searching their bags before the bag of his brother. When they brought it out from his brother's bag, thus did we plan for Yusuf, that they found it in the bag of Binyamin. We could not take his brother by the law of the king as a slave, except that Allah willed it. So Allah made the brothers bind themselves with their own way of punishment, which is enslaving of a thief. We raise to the degree whom we will, but over others endowed with knowledge, and is Allah all knowing. Thus Yusuf's brothers